3 million people, 3 million dog owners are okay with these techniques and with this idea of treating dogs like this. But before we judge the book by its cover, let's figure out and find out what do we know so far. So this is Augusto from the Dog Daddy channel, and these dogs are the dogs of dog owners who assume that they have done everything and this is the last chance, this is the last opportunity for them to deal with this dog, and they bring it to Augusto or the dog daddy, and Augusto tries to help them to deal with the dog's issues. And the approach of dog daddy is that I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the dog to submit and give up on that aggression or the reactivity, and everything is going to go well. After 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, God knows how long it takes, the dog is going to be okay. The dog is going to change, and the behavior and the reactivity and the aggression, it's all going to go away. So basically, this is the last chance for these dog owners. So that's the story behind it. I don't know Augusto or the dog daddy personally. I just know him from what he shares on his social media, in his videos. I've done a little bit of research about him. I feel that he has had a hard and difficult upbringing, and he had challenges in his life. And from watching his videos, I feel like he likes to show off. He likes to brag about what he has and what he has done, what he owns, his cars and this and that. And that's not a dog trainer's attitude. That's not a dog trainer's lifestyle. That's not a dog trainer form of approach to dog training. Now, what I see here, what I see that he does with dogs, from my point of view, it looks like exorcism.
The power of Christ compels you!
Even though Augusto could be a good person, kind, loving person, but what he shows in his videos doesn't come across as a kind, gentle, loving person. If you can do that to a dog, I don't know if that's called kindness, but in his mind, that's the only way that you have to do, and you have to solve the problem of your dog by getting the dog to that level that gets too scared and too reactive, and to the point that they defecate and they scream, they cry, they're afraid, and that's his approach. That's how he thinks. That's how you deal with the problem. We're going to discuss all these details in a moment, but I want you to understand that maybe, first of all, what he's doing is a reflection of his upbringing, and he is basically reflecting how he felt through the dogs to heal himself or heal the dogs. The viewers of his videos, they feel like he's an expert and he's an amazing dog trainer. And those people who are desperate and they assume that they have done everything and they bring their dog to Augusto, they think that he's the only one who can save them. So let's find out if dog training using force is a problem or not. First and foremost, understand that dog training using force is a problem because it doesn't heal or fix the problem that is the core issue of the problem. Whether you are a dog trainer or you're a dog owner, there are better ways of dealing with this issue without the use of force, domination, or when you're using aversive methods or tools. All it takes is understanding a simple human and dog psychology to solve these problems. And I'm going to try to simplify it as much as I can in this video. And if you do that, if you simplify the solution, you will have all the solutions that you need to deal with all your dog's unwanted behaviors. So if that sounds exciting to you and you can relate to it, give it a thumbs up to this video, share, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel, because in this channel I train and coach dog owners to learn how to train their dogs using a simple and easy method of dog training using play and praise as a reward system, so you can have the perfect dog. In this channel, my goal is to help you to develop a deeper connection with your dog so you can have a fantastic life with your dog together without the usual dog related hassle and stress. So how did I become a dog trainer? How did I figure out solutions for the dog problems that I had and you have? That's because I've been there. I was a dog owner myself and a dog trainer, dog lover. So I've been there, I've been in your shoes, and I know what you are going through, and I want to help you to solve those problems easily. So what I did, I studied, I did a lot of research, I went to school, I became a certified dog trainer, and I have worked with thousands of dog owners. And I've helped them and coached them to be having a great life with their dogs. And I'm sharing all my experiences that I've gained over the past 20 years with you on this channel. So let's get started. So when you have a dog who's reactive or aggressive, all that means is that you have a sensitive dog and it's afraid of certain things. Okay, there has been certain things happening into your dog that has caused that dog to develop some form of fear or sensitivity to certain things. Now, you have to understand, this is the part that I want you to understand, simplify dog and human psychology. I want you to understand that dogs and humans are different, right? You know that we are different, right? You have to accept that we are different. Dogs are equipped with different tools to deal with problems. Humans are equipped with different tools and ideas to deal with problems. Dogs deal with problems with barking, biting, lunging, running away, etc., etc. And when you use tools or gadgets to block the dog from expressing and using those tools, such as prong collars, such as halters, such as muzzles, such as shock collars, and on, you are blocking or limiting the dog to express and deal with the problem the way it is meant to deal with the problem. So if a person is approaching a dog, the dog, for instance, it uses its tools and the ideas that is designed for a dog to get rid of the problem, which is bite or bark or growl or lunge at it and get the problem away from it. But when you're limiting the dog using those tools, that dog is not able to express and solve the problem that it wants, no matter what the human's intentions are. If the human's intentions are to help this dog, that dog has no idea that that's the intention of the human. The dog, the goal of it is to get rid of the problem, because something has happened to this dog that has become sensitive to certain things and has learned that if I want to get rid of this problem, this is how I'm going to get rid of this problem, by barking, lunging, biting, running away, and all that. But when you're limiting the dog and the dog can't express or solve the problem, do you know what happens? Understand what happens when you restrict the dog by tools and gadgets, by leashes, prong collars, choke check collars, and all tools and gadgets like that. You're restricting the dog's communication system. The dog physically and emotionally and mentally shuts down, says, I have no way to communicate to this object, to this subject. So since it cannot communicate, it surrenders and shuts down and gives up. I want you to also understand that this type of approach and dealing with dogs, it's not training. This is not training. You can call it whatever you want, but this is not dog training. And whoever is doing something like this, it's an inexperienced dog owner or a dog trainer. This is basically called flooding. And flooding is a common beginner's mistake. No professional or educator or experienced dog owner would do such a thing. Why? Because a professional or an educated, experienced dog owner or dog trainer knows that if you do this, you're causing a lot more of issues to develop in the dog. What are some of the common issues that can develop in a dog when you approach a dog with this approach? You cause physical fatigue. You're physically shutting down the dog. You cause mental fatigue, or basically you're causing trauma to develop in your dog. And trauma lasts a lifetime. Dog daddy knows himself. He knows what has happened to him and the effects of it from the way he has been raised and what he has gone through himself. Everybody kind of knows. Everybody has gone through trauma. It will cause depression in the dog and it will last a lifetime. It will cause learning shortfall, which will cause your dog not to be able to learn in future. Also, when you restrain an animal who's a social animal, that's one of the worst things that you can do to a dog, to restrain them or keep them away from you. Those are the two things that are worst thing for a dog. Now, the other thing that I want you to understand is that you or your dog cannot learn when you are forced. One of the reasons I'm saying this is not dog training is supposed to be in a session that the dog learns something. In this situation, a dog is not capable of learning. You cannot force a dog or a human to learn something, no matter what method or tools you're using. Whether you're using methods like this, using aversive tools or methods to teach your dog to learn something, or even when you're forcing your dog to learn something using treats, your dog still doesn't learn. So you cannot teach or train or learn anything while you're using force. That's because your mindset of your dog is not in the right place. It's thinking about survival, is thinking about how do I deal with this problem. It's thinking about, oh my God, this is the end of my life. That's not the mindset of teaching or training a dog. So why don't you see me, for example, or certain professional dog trainers doing this or using this method to train dogs or so-called trained dogs, or make videos and post it on our social media? Why is it that we don't show or prove to others that we can train an aggressive dog? Number one reason is because me and some of the educated dog trainers would not put the dog in a situation like this, that we have to deal with the dog in that format. Because, as I explained, that's not training. That's not the way you train a dog. That's not the way you allow the dog to learn or get rid of certain behaviors or get rid of that aggression or not to be reactive. That's not the way you do it. Dog training for reactive and especially aggressive dogs or behavioral modification, the reality is that it will take a long time and little steps to help that dog and also to address that behavior. I've said it before, training dogs like this, especially, it's like watching a paint to dry. It's boring, it takes time, nothing exciting happens. You celebrate the little successful reactions that you get from your dog. So we wouldn't put the dog in that situation that reacts so we can help the dog to calm down and shut down. We would not put the dog in a situation that causes more stress or trauma. We won't flood the dog. Training an aggressive dog is not exciting. It's not something that you can make it exciting and film it and celebrate with it. Because we know how to deal with trauma. Trauma takes a long time to undo. Once you understand that because your dog is sensitive and has developed certain issues with certain situations, certain sounds, certain smells, certain subjects and objects, and that is why is reacting or being aggressive, because it's traumatized by that thing. And healing a trauma or healing an anxious dog or stressed dog, it takes time. It takes a different approach. Whether you are a professional dog trainer or an experienced dog owner, dealing with a dog in that mode, in that way, is not helpful to you and to the dogs because it causes other issues to develop. Helping a dog to overcome reactivity and aggression, first of all, it cannot be done in a short time. If you want quick results, stop watching this video and follow other dog trainers. But if you're still understanding the concept and mindset and you understand the ideology behind it, continue on watching. A dog can live 7 to 16 years, and taking a year of your time to help that dog to overcome stress, anxiety, trauma is nothing. You can't expect others to solve your dog-related problems. You are the guardian of your dog, and you can help your dog to overcome it. You have to do the work. Dog owners of these dogs are assuming that they have done everything. They haven't done everything. You haven't tried my method. You haven't tried many other methods yet. Some dog owners are dealing with their dogs for many years, and as you leave it without dealing with it, you know what happens. Trauma continues on and gets worse and worse. So you have to educate yourself. As a dog owner, you're responsible for your dog, and you have to educate yourself, and you have to invest time, money, energy to figure out how to deal with your dog. If your dog is having behavioral issues, reactivity, and aggression, I don't want you to feel that you're the cause, you're the reason why your dog is reactive. All I want you to understand is your dog, unfortunately, has these issues, and you happen to own that dog. Now, you can either give up on this dog or you can start helping this dog. What I mean by give up on this dog is there are other community rescue organizations, there are other community members, there are other groups specifically to your dog breeds or specifically to your dog that are capable of taking your dog, rehabilitate humanely, and rehome them. Or worst case scenario, they will let that dog live in their sanctuary happily ever after. And in most worst case scenarios that I have seen as well, what happens if you are that desperate that you're saying, I have no other chance or choice to deal with my dog, is that you keep your dog in your house, and whenever you bring your dog out of your house, you don't go for walks, you don't go anywhere. Just step your dog out of your house to do its business. You put a muzzle, you put a dog on a leash, let it do its business, take it back home. I've seen cases like that, that the owner has chosen to let the dog live like that because they have no other choice. And that's the choice that they have made. You can do the same. You don't have to deal with your dog's problems with more aversive methods and tools because you're going to make it worse. The more your dog gets under stress and reactive and reacts and gets aggressive, the worse it gets. So you don't want to put your dog in situations that will practice that behavior. So you can either do those or you can invest time, money, and energy to learn exactly what you're supposed to do because you're the guardian of your dog. Your dog looks up to you. Your dog has connections with you. Your dog has relationship with you, and you can help your dog to get over. You're the best teacher for your dog. Now, when you use aversive tools or methods, whether you use it or you hand your dog to somebody else to do it for you, just imagine the trauma that you cause to your dog and the scar that you cause in your relationship between you and your dog. Your dog says, I can't trust you anymore. You cause harm, you cause pain and fear in me, so I can't trust you. And that's not a good place to be. So how do you deal with reactivity and aggressive dog? It's a problem that, as I said, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy to help a dog to get over that problem. Now, if you want to start, I invite you to join my free masterclass that I have the link in the description, that you can go ahead and learn how to build a healthy and happy foundation, first of all, as a relationship between you and your dog. So therefore you can help your dog overcome all these challenges. By understanding these basics, you can start developing the other steps that will make more sense to you, that will lead to help your dog get over this reactivity and aggression. So let me know in the comments area. Do you have a reactive or aggressive dog? Have you been challenged with your dog? Have you looked for solutions to deal with your dog? What are the struggles that you're dealing with? Please comment below. Let's talk about this and let's share this information together so we can help each other. In my future videos, I'm going to dive in deeper to this topic and to these issues. And I hope you got something out of this. And I hope you can now have an idea of how to approach your dog's reactivity and aggression, or basically how to approach your dog. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. And remember, till next time, have fun with your dog.